Action.
My fellow Minnesota Cameroonian community, Happy New Year! I wish you tons of prosperity, love, happiness, but most importantly, unity in our community. 2018 has come and it's gone. It was a year that was marked with a lot of accomplishments in our community, but it's also one that experienced a lot of antagonism, negativity, and divisiveness in our community. I'd like to assure you that your leadership is listening. I'd like to report that we had a very productive meeting. We meaning the leadership of your community, the different organs, the three organs, leadership organs of your community. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those individuals, the chairman of the board of directors, the chairman of the representative assembly. Thank you for committing to seeing unity in your community. And thank you again for such a productive meeting that was characterized by a great level, an enjoyable level of camaraderie, fraternity, and candor in our conversations. We've resolved to make sure that unity must reign and prosperity must reign in our community. Thank you very much. I'd like to state a few of the accomplishments that we as a community accomplished in 2018. Beginning with the fact that 2018 was going to be a very uncertain year for our community. It was one that had so many questions, so many unanswered questions, including taxes that we had not filed for over 4 years, the loss of our 501c3 status, and more. But we were able to accomplish all of this. We took care of all of them, including the big elephant in the house, the $350,000 taxes that we owe to Ramsey County, that we're able to settle that through negotiating for a payment plan, and part of that tax is forgiven. But this is also thanks to the fact that you believed in the plan that my administration laid out to you on how these things were going to be resolved. We said we needed money from you in order to go settle the first installment of the negotiated taxes. We said we needed $21,600. You gave us $30,000. Thank you very much for believing in us and for demonstrating the strength of unity in our community. That when we unite and do things together, it works in the best interest of our community. And we accomplish a lot by doing that. Thank you very much. You would ask yourself, or one would wonder, with all these accomplishments, with all these things that we're able to do together, where did this high level of negativity emerge from in our community? Where did it come from? That is a question that I'm going to leave to each and every one of you to ponder and figure out, what is it that we missed out as a community, we missed out on? What should we be doing differently? How can we avoid that which destroys us as a people? with all the gains that we've made, it is also important that we set up a structure that protects what we find important to us, like our community center. That we set up a structure that runs that community center and not one that is dependent on individuals or an individual. That anyone who comes in tomorrow, they decide what they want to do with the property. We want the property to be run by a solid system, characterized by strong policies that we will put in place, so that it's the system that runs the community center, irrespective of who comes in tomorrow, that they will follow the same policies that us, have put together to make sure that the community center is run effectively. And that is why I'm glad that the last General Assembly meeting decided that we were going to put a team together to be able to help manage that community center. It is not something that should be done by one person alone. There's too much out there to be done and accomplished if we want the caliber of a community center that we're all, hoping to have. This team is one that we as a community, we give them very fine guidelines, help them provide the resources to help them succeed in the interest of the community. And it's also one that must help pave the way for a transition into paid administration for that community center, because it can not be done solely on a volunteer basis. The magnitude of community of work that needs to be done out there warrants that there be some level of incentive through pay and accountability. So, if you have not been paying attention, please pay attention to your affairs. Pay attention to your community center. Don't be limited only to what you read online. We are your servants. Reach out to us. Call us if you have questions. We'll lay them out to you so that you are in the know. We bring you up to speed with what is actually going on with your community center. We as a community know that at this time we're going through some challenges, and it's because we have not been able to run our community center the way we had been doing business in the past, because of an interruption by the city for required licenses. We have been working along with the city. We've done pretty much everything that they've asked us to put together for us to get the right certificate of occupancy, as well as related licenses to operate the community center effectively. We have done that. There were two things that were holding us back. The Metropolitan Council of St. Paul was supposed to come up with a determination as to how much sewage, we call it a SAC determination, we will be producing out of that building and charge us for it. So that's one thing that held us back. But fortunately, we've had that report back from them. And at this point, we owe them 0 SAC coin. based on prior determination that they had already made for the community center. And so there's one thing left with the city to accomplish in order for us to have a full certificate of occupancy, which is a banquet occupancy, which will enable us to serve food and alcohol in that facility. We also negotiated with them that based on our socio-cultural activities, it is necessary for us to run our activities or events at our center, a community center, longer than other facilities require us to do that. So we have negotiated that, and the city at this time is okay with us running our events up to 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. They are looking at other state laws or provisions to see if it's a possibility for us to run all night, but even at 3 a.m. It's still a good start. So those are some of the things that we wanted to let you know as far as where we are with returning the building back to full operations. So we're waiting for that one thing, and the one thing that the city of St. Paul needs to do for us is to be able to finalize the plan that was issued to them by our designer of records, our architect, to demonstrate an exit that they wanted to make sure that would be clear, an exit in the back. We already have other exits that would do the job. So once they're able to approve that, then we will be well on our way to getting our certificate of occupancy very soon. We have begun the application for the liquor license as well, so that it comes out soon after the certificate of occupancy comes out as well. So that's where we are with regards to returning our building back to its full usage. There are certain things that we have also been working on in the background on your behalf. We realize that not just realized, but it's common knowledge that we have a problem with our utility, electricity, heating and cooling tends to be very high due to the inefficiency of the system we have out there right now. In the past, prior to my administration, work had been done in order for us to try to change that. We even got to a point where we almost got a loan from the Ports Authority, but because we were delinquent with our taxes and other financial responsibilities, we were denied that loan. But because we have re-established credibility for our community and the community center, people are willing to do business again with us. That's why the Ports Authority has given us that loan of $250,000 to change the energy system in that facility, so that when we get there in the winters, we will have heat that will not cost us an arm and a leg, and that in the summer we'll have air conditioning that will not also produce an exorbitant bill. So we want to be able to enjoy these amenities without necessarily straining to pay them. We will be engaging Green Energy Corporation, which is also an affiliation of the District Energy in St. Paul, to be the project managers of this project. So they are going to help run the project. They're going to be the ones to find competent contractors to do the job, and we'll make sure that we monitor it every step of the way. We have also built some real good strategic partnerships that have come to be of great assistance, great relevance to us. We rebuilt relationships that we bent, bridges that we bent in the past. Bridges that were necessary to help us transition into where we fully want to take this community center to. The city of St. Paul is working closely with us. That is why the Planning and Economic Department has an assigned team working along with us to make sure that all these things that we want to accomplish are being accomplished, and that we also have the resources to accomplish them. The same division is the same division that awarded us $36,000 in STAR grants. This money is money that's going to be used to help us accomplish some of the repairs that we have in the exterior of the building and some other minor repairs inside, including some of the fees that we will incur as we proceed in returning your building back to its full usage. So we thank the city for doing what they're doing, and we have also built some other strategic partnerships. Remember, when we had stabilized our operations in this community center, we decided that it was time for us to go out now and look for money to take it to the next level, where we will be able to utilize the entire building for the purpose for which we as a community decided that we wanted to use it for. The wish list that we came up with, that we decided that we want all these things to happen in that community center. But those things will only happen if we're able to have the right financial resources to do that. That is why we're able to seek partnership with our legislators who help us sponsor a bonding bill for $3.1 million. A bonding bill that was supposed to transform this building for us and to give us all the things that we need in that building. We did not succeed, however, to get the bonding bill, but it was a very good experience, and all is not lost. We will, and we are encouraged to pursue the next bonding bill to make sure that we get that. And so that's why the unity in our community is very important for us to be able to accomplish these things. The more we work together, the more we're able to do what is best in the interest of all of us. So, my brothers and sisters, unity takes us places. Other communities, like communities, have taken advantage of these resources out there. If we are going to have a team come in to help us manage this community center, we should be able to provide resources to them as well. We should be able to direct them, to take them to the sources that will provide the kind of financial resources that we need in order for us to take our community center to a more prosperous and a more successful community center. In that light, I'd like to take us now to something even more important. as we approach 2019, we should start thinking about the next installment for our taxes that are going to be due. That's going to be due in March. Your leadership did not just rest on their laurels. We have been looking for ways to ease this financial burden on our community. My brothers and sisters, I'd like to tell you that we have identified, and this is very good news to our community, that people do care about us. We have identified a group of anonymous donors who want to match up to 80% of what we put together as a community. So they're encouraging us to go out and raise the entire sum to pay out the $154,000 and have some cushion to be able to pay our bills while we stabilize things. So they're shooting for $180,000. We have done this before. We raised $250,000 within a very short period of time when we're going to buy this property. And so I'm confident that we can do this again. However, they say all they need for us to do is raise $100,000. They can come up with the 80%, which is about $80,000. Then we go out and just pay the taxes, and then we will never have to worry about those taxes. Now, that's not all. We, your leadership, are looking at the different strategies on how to raise the $100,000. And we'll be rolling those out to you so that we can all together go out and follow the revenue streams that will set and generate this money and free our community from the tax burden that we inherited. So it's good news for us, and I encourage each and every one of us, especially with this new spirit of unity in our community, that we work together, we work hard to do what is right for our community. I'd like to also thank those who have taken the time to step up. Some of you contacted us without us necessarily coming to you to say, we want to help. This is our community. How can we help? I want to help financially. I know I don't have the time, but I want to help financially. To those who have raised money to help support, pay the bills, while we're still struggling to get our center back into its full operations. We want to thank you for the efforts that you've made, each and every one of you who donated money towards that. And that's why we are calling on you to get ready to team up with us, along with all your fellow community members, to embrace 2019 from a complete approach with tons of love for each other, tons of unity among us. Because it has been proven that every time we've done that, we have been successful. We are very endowed as a community in so many ways. But how we harness the resources that we have to benefit all of us as a community is where the focus needs to be come 2019. All of this will not be done successfully without our collective effort. That is why I am appealing to each and every one of you that it is imperative that we each step out, make the effort to step out of our comfort zones, to volunteer in any way possible to make our community stronger and better. Please consider putting the time out there. It doesn't have to be 10 hours a week. It doesn't have to be 20 hours a week, even if it's 1 hour a week. Just to make sure that you are also taking ownership and that it is not just somebody else, your executive or your board members or rep assembly members who do all the work, that you, each and every one of us, has the obligation to make sure that we put in that earnest effort to make sure that your community is succeeding. Please, I urge you to take this seriously so that we can build an even stronger community. The challenges that we faced with this community center has severely taken a lot away from us. We have not spent enough time to build our community the way we would love to. That is why we are setting these structures, putting these structures and these systems in place for the systems to run our community center, where we focus on building our community again. We want to be able to enjoy our summer picnics. We want to be able to enjoy even our Wednesday summer barbecues that we had in the parks. We want to enjoy the great Minnesota Cameroonian Cultural Festival. And most importantly, our kids that I believe we have failed and continue to fail because of all the struggles that we've had as a community with regards to our community center. But kids, you are not left out. We continue to think about you. We said you were going to have a summer party. That did not happen. Unfortunately, summer came and our facility got our ability to run our facility, run our events at our facility got compromised. So while we were focused on that, we missed out on you. But all is not lost. As we speak, we are planning a holiday party for you. Come January, we have to make up. We owe you that much. And that would also mark the beginning of the new MinCam spirit. That spirit where I see you or you see me as a brother or a sister. And not as an enemy. And not like some stranger. Let's all work together in the interest, again, of our community. I love each and every one of you. I wish you well come 2019, and I look forward to working collaboratively with each and every one of you. God bless you.